What's up guys, Cable's here. Today I'm going to do my review of The Legend of Korra Episode 3, and the title is called The Revelation. And I gotta say, this is another really good episode of The Legend of Korra, and in this episode we are introduced to the new villains known as the Equalists, and pretty much this group pretty much they don't like benders. They hate benders actually, and they want to destroy the bending establishment within Republic City and possibly later on throughout the world. And their leader is his name is Amon, and pretty much his backstory is that he was a simple kid growing up. His parents were farmers and they were living a good life, but then pretty much a firebender actually came and he pretty much killed Amon's parents and apparently scarred Amon in the face. Now I'm not sure if this firebender actually did burn Amon's face. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I mean, I think it would be weird to, introduce another villain who also has a scar on his face. I think that's used a little bit too much. Well, not too much, but it's just the fact that we know that Zuko was one of the main characters from The Last Airbender. He had a scar, and for, Amon, if he has a scar, it's kind of too much. So maybe he's lying about that. Maybe he does has a legitimate scar. Who knows? But pretty much, he's a very interesting villain because see, he doesn't want to just kill benders. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to take away their ability to bend, which he reveals in this episode that he has the ability to take someone's bender's ability to bend, and he showed this by demonstrating on like three different gang members. One of them was the leader, and he pretty much gave them a fighting chance. But Amon, with his style of fighting, he was easily able to defeat him and subdued him, and pretty much he did the same thing with the whole head to the thing, like the fingers to the head and stuff like that. The same head position, but I think he was behind the guy, and pretty much he took away his power to bend, and that's I was still thinking about it, how he had this ability, because we know that Aang was able to do this, and he learned from like this giant lion turtle, and who knows, maybe this ability doesn't just apply to the Avatar, of course, that it's just that's a secret technique, that it just so happened that Aang would learn it, and he's the Avatar, so you don't have to be the Avatar to learn this technique. And I also think that this technique and chi blocking have somewhat of a connection to it. And with chi blocking, because we were in this episode, Mako and Korra, when they were looking for Bolin, were um, they were pretty much were fighting off these two members of the Equalist group, and pretty much they were getting owned, with their movements and stuff, and they were using chi blocking, which Ty Lee from The Last Airbender, she was using it. That was her thing, and pretty much we didn't really understand that much about it, but now it's like anybody can learn it, I believe, and those quick movements and like those few punches like to the arm and stuff, taking away your bending. It really reminds me a lot of the Yuka clan and the gentle fist style within the series of Naruto, and these guys, I'm really liking this Equalist group. They know how to fight, they know how to take care of themselves, and also I believe the guy with the electrical staffs, with the goggles and stuff, I believe he's Amon's right hand man, and pretty much he's a really good fighter. He has like these two electrical staffs, and he was able to take out Mako and Poglin very easily. And anyways, going back with the connection, I really believe like this chi blocking and his ability to take away a bender's power are connected, because really the whole aspect with chi and the energy within the Avatar series, we weren't really given a good explanation about it, or that much in detail with it, because really we know about chi, but they never really talked about it, the origins, and how people were able to use the chi, except for like that one episode when Aang was learning how to use the Avatar state. But other than that, I mean, we don't really know that much about chi. So maybe in this series they'll explain more about it, because I do believe it is a possibility that Korra could lose her bending powers. But then again, since she's the Avatar, so we're gonna get them back later on by another method, which I do believe this whole concept with chi will be explained further in this series. I think so. That's my prediction. But also in this episode, we learn about with Mako and his past, that his parents were mugged and killed by a firebender. And pretty much, I got to say that firebenders, I'm not saying they're all evil, but it seems like when you think about firebenders, you get that whole negative feeling towards them because they were the ones in the last Airbender to pretty much start the 100-Year War, and they were pretty much oppressing the other, the Earth kingdoms and the Water Tribe pretty much, and they were the cause of many deaths, and Katara's mother and other parents and whatnot. And then we know about how pretty much with all these other deaths and these criminal organizations and just seeing all these firebenders, and I know it's not just firebenders, but a large majority of everything negative that's happened in the last Avatar and what we're seeing now is caused by the firebenders. So it's you get that negative vibe with the firebenders now that because I can see how somebody can get greedy with power and overuse it because with firebenders they can pretty much throw a fireball at you and you can be done, or in case lightning, because now lightning's like second nature to firebenders because Mako, he can pretty much lightning bend, and I always thought that bending lightning was actually something that only certain firebenders can do, like that are very skillful, because we saw that in Last Airbender that Azula and Ozai, those were the two that are the only ones that could use lightning and bend lightning, but now it's like all firebenders can actually bend lightning, which I think is a little bit too much. That's a lot of power there, and I can see how all these mob groups or gang groups who form and using this power because I mean I'm not saying like the firebenders are OP, but it's like they can automatically use lightning whenever they want to. They can kill somebody with one shot, and I think that's ridiculous, and I can understand how this whole movement with the equalist movement could gain so many supporters because so many people could have lost family and friends and just overall be oppressed by other vendors. So that's pretty crazy, that this movement could actually gain a lot of followers because so many people can relate to how Amon's been feeling and just I'm tired of all the vendors and being equal. That's the goal, to be equal. So yeah, and we learned about that, and we also saw that who else? Po Lin, yes, that he has a red fairy called Pabu, and I believe that Pabu and Korra's polar bear Naga, that they're gonna have that animal relationship. This has how Appa and Momo had that relationship. I thought it was pretty funny, those two, one small guy and a giant animal. I like that relationship, and there was a few funny scenes with Appa and them. So that'll be interesting to see how they develop somewhat throughout the episode. So overall, this episode was really good. I like the fighting in this episode, and the soundtracks are really good. The music is flowed great and everything, and the fight scenes were very good, and this Amon guy, I'm telling you. And it's interesting at the end when Tenzin said that, no bender is safe, and that he was kind of surprised to see that Amon had this ability, because I thought somebody like him, being the son of the Avatar, would learn a little bit more about this, with taking the bender's power away. But anyways, that's my review. Very good episode. Please subscribe and leave the comments below what you thought about the episode, what you liked about it, disliked about it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And I'll see you for next week's episode, which looks like it's going to be Korra versus Amon. It's Korra challenges Amon to a duel, pretty much. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.